Ebuka knocked on the door and it creaked open to reveal a giant woman with large breasts. Uzochukwu's heart pounded in his chest, fear evident in his eyes. Ebuka, what is this place? Who is she? Uzochukwu whispered, his voice trembling. Don't worry, Uzo. This is the mother of wealth. She's here to help you make money. Aba is a lively city in the southeastern part of Nigeria, known for its busy market and hardworking people. The streets are always filled with activity, from the sounds of traders calling out their goods to the hum of motorcycles weaving through traffic. Aba is famous for its vibrant market, where you can find almost anything, from fresh produce and fish to colorful fabrics and handcrafted goods. The city never seems to sleep, with people bustling about from dawn till dusk. In this bustling city, there lived a young boy named Uzochukwu. He was 22 years old, full of hope and dreams, but life had not been easy for him. Uzochukwu grew up with his parents in a face me, I face you one-room apartment. This type of housing is common in Aba, where many families live together in a compound with shared bathrooms and kitchens. The rooms are small and space is tight, but the sense of community is strong. Neighbors often helped each other, sharing food and looking after one another's children. Uzochukwu's father, Ekene, was an Okada rider. He rode his motorcycle taxi through the crowded streets of the main market in Aba, picking up passengers and taking them to their destinations. It was a tough job, especially under the hot sun, but it was the only way he could earn money to support his family. Every morning, Ekene would wake up before dawn, prepare his motorcycle, and head out to work. Take care of your mother and siblings, Uzo, he would say as he left the house. Uzochukwu's mother, Ebere, sold fish at the bustling market. Every day, she would set up her stall early in the morning, arranging the fresh fish on display and calling out the customers to buy from her. Fresh fish! Come and buy fresh fish! She would shout, hoping to attract buyers. Ebere worked tirelessly, often standing for hours under the scorching sun. Despite their hard work, Uzochukwu's family was very poor. They struggled to make ends meet, often worried about how to pay for food and other necessities. Uzochukwu had to stop schooling after his senior WAEC examination because his parents couldn't afford the fees anymore. It was a difficult decision, but Uzochukwu knew he had to help his family. He started hustling in the market, doing odd jobs to earn money. One afternoon, as Uzochukwu was helping a trader carry heavy sacks of rice, his friend Chinedu approached him. Uzo, why did you stop school? Chinedu asked, concerned. I had to, Chinedu. My family needs me, Uzochukwu replied, wiping sweat from his brow. We can't afford the fees anymore, and my siblings need to stay in school. I have to help pay for their education. Chinedu nodded, understanding. You are a good brother, Uzo. It's not easy, but you are doing the right thing. Uzochukwu worked hard every day. He carried heavy loads for traders, ran errands, and sometimes helped his mother at her fish stall. He saved every penny he earned to help pay for his younger siblings' school fees. Uzochukwu had two younger brothers, Obina and Chiemeka, and a sister, Adeze, and he wanted them to have the education he couldn't finish. He believed that if they could stay in school, they might have a better chance at a brighter future. Even though life was tough, Uzochukwu was a kind and caring young man. He always had a smile on his face and a positive attitude. He never gave up on his dreams, even when things seemed hopeless. He hoped that one day He would make enough money to lift his family out of poverty. He dreamed of a better life where they wouldn't have to worry about their next meal or how to pay the bills. One evening, as Uzochukwu was helping his mother at the market, Ebere looked at him with concern. Uzo, you work so hard. Are you not tired? She asked. Uzochukwu shook his head, smiling. Mama, I am doing this for us. One day, things will get better, I believe. Ebere sighed, her eyes filled with love and worry. I pray so, my son. I pray every day for our situation to improve. Every night, after a long day of work, Uzochukwu would sit outside their small room and look up at the stars. He would think about his future and make plans in his head. One day, he would say to himself, I will make a lot of money. I will build a big house for my parents, and my siblings will go to the best schools. We will not be poor anymore. Despite the struggles, Uzochukwu's spirit remained strong. He found joy in the little things, like playing football with his friends in the neighborhood or spending time with his family. He knew that as long as he kept pushing and working hard, there was hope for a better tomorrow. And with that hope, he faced each new day with determination, ready to take on whatever challenges come his way. On weekends, Uzochukwu would sometimes visit his friend Ebuka, who also lived in the same type of housing. They would talk about their dreams and aspirations. Uzo, what do you want to do in the future? Ebuka asked one day. I want to be successful, Ebuka. I want to make enough money to take care of my family and give them a good life. Uzochukwu replied, You will achieve it, my friend. You have the heart and the drive. Ebuka encouraged him. These conversations gave Uzochukwu hope and strength. He knew he was not alone in his struggles, and that made him even more determined to succeed. Uzochukwu's journey was just beginning, and he believed that one day all his hard work would pay off. He held onto his dreams tightly, knowing that with patience and perseverance, anything was possible. On their street in Aba, Uzochukwu had developed a secret crush on a girl named Adama. Adama had recently relocated from Abuja to stay with her grandmother. She was 20 years old, beautiful and jovial. Her presence on the street was like a breath of fresh air. Adama was friendly and always waved at Uzo whenever she saw him, her bright smile lighting up his day. One afternoon, as Uzochukwu was returning from the market, he saw Adama sitting on the steps of her grandmother's house. She waved at him as usual. Hello, Uzochukwu. How are you today? She called out cheerfully. I am fine, Adama. How are you? Uzochukwu replied, feeling his heart skip a beat. I'm good, thank you. Would you like to join me? I have some fresh mangoes. Adama offered, patting the step beside her. Uzochukwu hesitated for a moment but then walked over and sat down. Thank you, he said, accepting a slice of mango. As they ate the mangoes, they talked about various things, from the bustling life in Aba to their dreams and aspirations. Uzochukwu found himself enjoying her company more than he had anticipated. Adama's laughter was infectious, and her optimism was refreshing. Over time, they became good friends. Every evening after Uzochukwu had finished his work for the day, he would sit in front of a big store in front of Adama's compound and chat. They laughed, shared stories, and talked about their future. These moments became the highlight of Uzochukwu's day. One evening, as they sat together, Adama looked at Uzochukwu thoughtfully. Uzo, what do you want to do in the future? She asked. Uzochukwu smiled, feeling comfortable sharing his dreams with her. I want to make a lot of money and take care of my family. I want to build a big house for my parents and ensure my siblings get a good education. That's a wonderful dream, Uzo, Adama said, her eyes sparkling. I believe you can achieve it. You are hardworking and determined. And what about you, Adama? What are your dreams? Uzochukwu asked. I want to become a successful seamstress and open my own shop one day Adama replied. I have started learning sewing at the village market, and I'm enjoying it. Maybe one day I will make beautiful clothes for everyone in Aba. As time went by, their friendship blossomed into something more. They agreed to date, and their neighbors quickly noticed the budding romance. Whispers and gossip about their relationship spread through the street. Everyone knew that Uzochukwu and Adama were now a couple. Their relationship was often compared to that of Romeo and Juliet, a story of young love that everyone admired. One day, as Uzochukwu and Adama were walking home together, they ran into Uzochukwu's parents. Ebere looked at her son with concern. Uzo, be careful. Don't do anything stupid. She warned. Yes, Mama, I promise not to do anything stupid. I know her situation. Uzochukwu reassured her, understanding her worry. Despite their financial struggles, Uzochukwu and Adama's relationship continued to thrive. Adama would often visit Uzochukwu's house, even when his parents were around. She quickly became a part of the family, helping Ebere with household chores and sharing meals with them. One evening, as they all sat down for dinner, Ebere smiled at Adama. You are like a daughter to us now, Adama. Thank you for being so kind and supportive, she said. Thank you, Mama. I'm happy to be part of your family. Adama replied warmly. Adama was a source of constant encouragement for Uzochukwu. She would often motivate him to keep working hard and not give up on his dreams. Uzo, you are doing great. Just keep pushing. One day, all your hard work will pay off, she would say. Uzochukwu appreciated her support more than he could express. Thank you, Adama. Your words mean a lot to me. I'm lucky to have you by my side, he said one evening as they sat in front of the store, watching the stars. Adama also continued to pursue her own dreams. She was doing well in her sewing lessons and often shared her progress with Uzochukwu. Look, Uzo, I made this dress today, she said excitedly one day, showing him a beautiful sewn dress. That's amazing, Adama. You are very talented. Uzochukwu praised her. Their love and support for each other grew stronger with each passing day. They shared their struggles and celebrated their little victories together. Uzochukwu knew that with Adama by his side, he could face any challenge that came his way. Their relationship was a beacon of hope and love in the midst of their difficult circumstances. They dreamed of a better future together, where their hard work and dedication would bring them the success and happiness they longed for. Months passed and life in Aba continued as usual for Uzochukwu. He worked hard every day to support his family and make ends meet. His relationship with Adama grew stronger, and she remained a constant source of encouragement for him. They often sat together in the evenings, discussing their dreams and the future. One afternoon, Uzochukwu's friend Ebuka approached him with exciting news. Uzo, I have decided to travel to Asaba. My friends are there, and they say there are better opportunities to hustle and make money. I think you should come with me. Ebuka said enthusiastically. Uzochukwu was taken aback. Travel to Asaba? But I'm fine here in Aba. Ebuka, I can't just leave my family. He replied. Ebuka frowned slightly but continued. Think about it, Uzo. We could make a lot of more money in Asaba. There are more jobs and the pay is better. We could change our lives for the better. Uzochukwu shook his head. I appreciate the offer, Ebuka, but my family needs me here. I can't leave them. Besides, Aba is my home. I know how things work here. Ebuka sighed, trying to convince his friend. I understand your concern, but this could be a great opportunity. We can make enough money to support our families and maybe even save some for the future. Uzochukwu looked thoughtful for a moment. Ebuka, I understand where you are coming from, but I have responsibilities here. My parents depend on me, and my siblings need my support. I can't abandon them. Seeing that Uzochukwu was firm in his decision, Ebuka placed a hand on his friend's shoulder. All right, Uzo. Just promise me you will be careful. Keep working hard, but make sure you don't get into any trouble. And remember, always be conscious about the kind of work you do. I promise, Ebuka, you will be careful too. Asaba is a big city, and it's easy to get caught up in the wrong things. Stay safe and don't take unnecessary risk. Uzochukwu advised, his concern evident in his voice. Days later, Ebuka packed his bags and left for Asaba. Uzochukwu watched him go, feeling a mix of sadness and relief. He hoped his friend would find success, but also worried about the potential dangers Ebuka might face. Asaba was known for its bustling lifestyle and various opportunities, but it was also a place where people could easily get into trouble if they weren't careful. Back in Aba, life went on as usual for Uzochukwu. He continued his daily hustle, working different jobs to earn money and support his family. Despite the challenges, he remained hopeful and determined. Adama, who was becoming increasingly skilled in her fashion work, always found time to visit Uzochukwu and his family. Her presence brought joy and comfort to their household. One evening, as Uzochukwu and Adama sat outside his house, Adeze, Uzochukwu's little sister, joined them. She had a big smile on her face. Brother Uzo, you are doing a great job. Don't give up. Everything will be alright. Adeze said, her voice filled with encouragement. Thank you, Ada. Your words mean a lot to me. Uzochukwu replied, patting his sister on the head. I won't give up. I will keep pushing for all of us. Adama nodded in agreement. Uzo, you have a strong spirit. I believe in you, and I know you can achieve great things. We all believe in you. I'm grateful for your support, Adama. You and Adeze give me the strength to keep going. Uzochukwu said, smiling warmly at them. As the days turned into weeks, Uzochukwu continued to work hard, never losing sight of his dreams. He balanced his responsibility to his family with his growing relationship with Adama. Despite the hardship, there was a sense of hope and determination in his heart. One afternoon, as Uzochukwu was working at the market, he received a phone call from Ebuka. Hey Uzo, how is it going? Ebuka asked, his voice sounding cheerful. Hey Ebuka, it's good to hear from you. How is Asaba? Uzochukwu replied, eager to hear about his friend's experiences. Asaba is great, man. There are lots of opportunities here, just like I thought. I have found a good job and things are looking up. Ebuka said excitedly. I'm happy for you, Ebuka. Just remember to stay safe and make wise choices. Uzochukwu cautioned. Don't worry, Uzo. I'm being careful. I will keep you updated on how things are going, Ebuka assured him. After the call, Uzochukwu felt a renewed sense of determination. He was glad to hear that his friend was doing well and took it as a sign that better days were ahead for him too. He knew that if he kept working hard and staying focused, his efforts would eventually pay off. As the sun set over Aba, Uzochukwu looked around at the familiar streets and bustling markets. This was his home, and he was determined to make a better life for himself and his family. With the support of Adama, his family, and the lessons he had learned along the way, Uzochukwu faced each new day with hope and determination, ready to overcome any obstacles that came to his way. 6 months had passed since Ebuka left for Asaba, and life in Aba continued its usual rhythm for Uzochukwu. He worked tirelessly to support his family, his days filled with hustle and hard work. But one afternoon, the quiet routine of the market was shattered by an astonishing piece of news. Ebuka had returned, and he wasn't the same boy who had left. Uzochukwu was busy helping a customer when a young boy ran up to him, breathless with excitement. Uzo, Uzo, Ebuka is back, and he has a big luxury car. He's throwing money everywhere. Uzochukwu's heart raced. What? Are you serious? Yes, everyone is talking about it. You should go see for yourself, the boy said, his eyes wide with excitement. Uzochukwu quickly finished his task and hurried to the scene. As he approached, he could see a large crowd gathered, all eyes fixed on a gleaming luxury car parked in the middle of the street. Ebuka was standing on top of the car, laughing and throwing money into the air. Children and adults alike were scrambling to pick up the bills, shouting with joy. Uzochukwu pushing his way through the crowd, his eyes widening in shock. Ebuka, is that really you? He called out. Ebuka turned and saw his friend. A wide grin spread across his face. Uzochukwu, my brother, come here, he shouted, waving him over. As the excitement died down, Ebuka climbed down from the car and embraced Uzochukwu. It's so good to see you, Uzo. I can't believe my eyes, Ebuka. How did you get so rich? Uzochukwu asked, still in shock. Come, let's talk, Ebuka said, leading Uzochukwu to a nearby lounge. They found a quiet corner and sat down. Tell me everything, Ebuka. How did you manage all this? Uzochukwu asked, his curiosity burning. Ebuka leaned back in his chair, a satisfied smile on his face. There is a lot of money in Asaba, Uzo. I found some good opportunities and worked hard. I now have a big mansion and this car. Life has changed for me. Uzochukwu was dumbfounded. A mansion? That's incredible, Ebuka. But what kind of work did you do? Ebuka's smile faltered slightly, but he quickly regained his composure. Different businesses, you know. The important thing is that I made it. And you can too, Uzo. You should come with me to Asaba. We can change your family's life. Uzochukwu listened intently, but a nagging doubt crept into his mind. I don't know, Ebuka. I have responsibilities here, and I can't just leave Adama and my family. Think about it, Uzo. You can make so much money. Imagine how much better life would be for all of them. Ebuka urged. They continued talking, eating and drinking late into the night. Uzochukwu's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts. When he finally returned home, he found it impossible to sleep. He lay in bed, tossing and turning. Ebuka's words echoing in his mind. Should I go to Asaba and make money for my family and Adama? He wondered aloud. But what if the money isn't pure? What if I get into trouble? He prayed for guidance. God, please show me the right path. I don't want to make a mistake. The next day, Ebuka visited Uzochukwu again. He handed him a card and an address in Asaba. Here, Uzo, this is where you can find me if you decide to come. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks, Ebuka. I will think about it. Uzochukwu replied, taking the card. Ebuka gave him a reassuring pat on the back. Take care, Uzo. I hope to see you soon in Asaba, he said before getting into his car and driving away. Left alone with his thoughts, Uzochukwu stared at the card in his hand. The temptation to join Ebuka was strong, but his instincts warned him to be conscious. He needed to consider his family, Adama, and the potential risks. That evening, Adama came over to visit. She noticed the troubled look on Uzochukwu's face. Uzo, what's bothering you? You seem so distracted, she said gently. Uzochukwu sighed deeply. Adama, Ebuka came back yesterday. He's very rich now. He has a luxury car and even a mansion in Asaba. Adama's eyes widened in surprise. Wow, that's amazing. How did you do it? He said there are lots of opportunities in Asaba. He wants me to go with him to make money. Uzochukwu explained. Adama looked thoughtfully. Do you think it's a good idea? I don't know, Adama. One part of me wants to go and make money for our family, but another part of me is worried. What if the money isn't clean? What if I get into trouble? Uzochukwu confessed. Adama placed a reassuring hand on his arm. Uzo, I believe in you. Whatever decision you make, I know it will be the right one. Just be careful and think it through. Thank you, Adama. Your support means a lot to me, Uzochukwu said, feeling slightly more at ease. The next few days were filled with inner turmoil for Uzochukwu. He couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. He prayed every night, asking for God's guidance. The morning sun filtered through the thin curtains of their small room as Uzochukwu gathered the courage to talk to his parents about Ebuka's return. He knew it would be a difficult conversation, but he needed their guidance. His parents, Ekene and Ebere, were sitting at the kitchen table, discussing the day's plans. Papa, Mama, I need to talk to you about something important. Uzochukwu began, his voice steady but anxious. Ekene looked up from his cup of tea, a concerned expression on his face. What is it, Uzo? You seem troubled. It's about Ebuka. He came back from Asaba with a lot of money and a luxury car. He wants me to go with him to make money, Uzochukwu explained, his eyes searching their faces for a reaction. Ebere's face tightened with worry. Uzo, this sounds too good to be true. Wealth like that doesn't come easily or suddenly. It makes me uneasy. I know, Mama. That's why I'm asking for your advice. Should I go to Asaba to hustle? Uzochukwu asked, hoping for clarity. Ekene sighed deeply. Son, you know we want the best for you. But Ebuka's wealth seems unreal, almost suspicious. We don't want you to get into trouble. Stay here and continue to hustle. Slow and steady wins the race. Uzochukwu nodded, understanding their concern. All right, Papa, Mama, I will stay back and continue to work hard here. Despite his decision, Ebuka kept calling Uzochukwu, sending pictures of his latest achievements, a new house, expensive clothes, and more. Each message was a reminder of the life Uzochukwu could potentially have. The temptation grew stronger each day. One evening, after receiving another call from Ebuka, Uzochukwu couldn't ignore the pull any longer. He decided to travel to Asaba. That night, he approached his parents again. Papa, Mama, I have thought about it a lot. I think I need to go to Asaba. I need to try and change our lives. Ekene and Ebere exchanged worried glances. Are you sure about this, Uzo? Ekene asked, his voice filled with concern. Yes, Papa. I will be careful. If things get hard, I will come back home. Uzochukwu promised. Ebere hugged her son tightly. We trust you, Uzo. Just remember, no matter what happens, this will always be your home. Be safe and come back to us. The next morning, Uzochukwu went to see Adama. She could tell something was different. Uzo, what's going on? You look serious. She asked, her eyes filled with worry. Adama, I have decided to go to Asaba. I need to try and make money for our family. Uzochukwu said, taking her hands in his. Adama's eyes filled with tears. I understand, Uzo. Just promise me you will be careful and come back soon. I will miss you so much. I promise, Adama. I will come back as soon as I can. Thank you for always supporting me, Uzochukwu said, hugging her tightly. The day Uzochukwu left was a somber one. His family and Adama gathered to bid him farewell. Adama cried as she hugged him tightly, her heart heavy with worry. Be safe, Uzo. I will be praying for you every day. Adama whispered through her tears. I will, Adama. I will come back soon, I promise. Uzochukwu replied, trying to keep his own emotions in check. His parents also hugged him, alongside his siblings, their eyes filled with both pride and concern. Remember, Uzo, if things get tough, come back home. We are always here for you. Ekene said firmly. I will, Papa. I love you all. Uzochukwu said, his voice breaking slightly. With a heavy heart, Uzochukwu boarded the bus to Asaba. As the bus pulled away, he looked back at his family and Adama, all waving and wiping tears from their eyes. His heart raced with a mix of excitement and fear, and he prayed silently for God's protection and guidance. The journey to Asaba was long and filled with thoughts of what lay ahead. Uzochukwu stared out the window, the landscape changing from the familiar streets of Aba to the unknown roads leading to Asaba. He clutched the card Ebuka had given him, feeling a sense of both hope and dread. God, please protect me and guide me. Help me make the right decisions, Uzochukwu prayed quietly. As the bus approached Asaba, Uzochukwu felt a surge of determination. He was taking a big risk, but he believed it was worth it for the chance to provide a better life for his family and Adama. The city of Asaba loomed ahead, bustling with activity and opportunity. Uzochukwu knew his journey was just beginning, and he hoped it would lead to the bright future he dreamed of. The bus finally arrived at the station in Asaba. Uzochukwu took a deep breath, stepped off the bus, and into the bustling city. He was ready to face whatever challenges came his way, armed with hope, determination, and the support of his loved ones back home. Upon arriving in Asaba, Uzochukwu felt a mix of anticipation and unease. He hailed a tricycle, commonly known as Keke Napepe, to take him to Ebuka's location. The driver navigated through a bustling street of Asaba, which were lively and full of energy, much like Aba, but with a different flavor of opportunity and mystery. As the keke approached a large gated mansion, Uzochukwu's eyes widened in disbelief. The mansion was grand, with tall gates and a beautiful garden. It was unlike anything Uzochukwu had ever seen. He paid the driver and stood in front of the gate, feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. Is this really where Ebuka lives now? Uzochukwu muttered to himself. The gate opened and Ebuka appeared, grinning from ear to ear, Uzo, welcome, my brother. I'm so glad you came. Ebuka exclaimed, pulling him into a tight hug. Ebuka, this place is incredible. I can't believe it. Uzochukwu said, still in shock. Come inside. Let me show you around. Ebuka said, leading Uzochukwu through the grand entrance. The interior of the mansion was even more impressive, with luxurious furnishings and modern decor. Despite the grandeur, Uzochukwu felt uneasy. The sudden wealth and opulence made him uncomfortable. However, Ebuka did everything possible to make him feel at home. Relax, Uzo. You are my guest. Make yourself comfortable, Ebuka said, offering him a drink. That night, they ate a lavish dinner and drank expensive wine. Ebuka was in high spirits, sharing stories of his new life in Asaba. Uzo, this city has been good to me. There is so much opportunity here. I'm glad you decided to come, Ebuka said. Uzochukwu smiled, but his mind was racing. I hope I made the right decision, he thought to himself. After dinner, Ebuka showed him to a large, comfortable guest room. This is your room. Get some rest. Tomorrow, we will start getting you set up, Ebuka said. Thank you, Ebuka. Good night, Uzochukwu replied, closing the door behind him. The room was spacious, with a large bed and modern amenities. Uzochukwu lay down but found it hard to sleep. His mind was filled with doubts and questions. How did Ebuka get all this money so quickly? What kind of business is he involved in? He wondered. He tossed and turned, praying for clarity and guidance. The next morning, Ebuka was already up and ready. Good morning, Uzo. Let's get you some new clothes, he said cheerfully. They went to a high-end boutique where Ebuka bought Uzochukwu several expensive outfits. You need to look the part if you are going to succeed here, Ebuka said, handing Uzo a bag of clothes. Uzochukwu was overwhelmed. Ebuka, this is too much. You don't have to do all this. Nonsense, Uzo. You are my brother. I want to help you, Ebuka insisted. Next, they visited an electronics store where Ebuka bought Uzochukwu the latest iPhone. You will need this for our business. It's important to stay connected, Ebuka explained. Thank you, Ebuka. I appreciate everything you are doing for me, Uzochukwu said, though he still felt a nagging sense of unease. Back at the mansion, Uzochukwu couldn't help but admire the view from his room. The city of Asaba stretched out before him, full of possibilities. Yet, despite the luxury and kindness shown by Ebuka, something didn't sit right with him. Ebuka, when will you tell me about this business? I want to understand what I'm getting into, Uzochukwu asked that evening. Don't worry, Uzo. I will introduce you to everything soon. Just enjoy yourself for now. You deserve it, Ebuka replied with a reassuring smile. That night, Uzochukwu lay in his large, comfortable bed, his thoughts racing. This all feels too good to be true, he thought. I need to know what kind of business this is. I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. He prayed for wisdom and clarity, hoping to find answers soon. God, please guide me. I don't want to make a mistake that could ruin everything, he whispered into the darkness. The next day, Uzochukwu decided to wait patiently for Ebuka to introduce him to the business. He hoped that once he understood the nature of the work, he would feel more at ease. For now, he would enjoy the comfort and luxury, but always with a cautious heart and a prayer for guidance. Later that day, Ebuka took Uzochukwu around Asaba, showing him the vibrant parts of the city and introducing him to some of his friends. They visited upscale restaurants, busy markets, and even some nightlife spots. Look around, Uzo. This is the life we can have, Ebuka said as they sat in a trendy cafe, sipping on cold drinks. It's impressive, Ebuka, but I still need to know about this business, Uzochukwu replied, trying to mask his unease. Patience, Uzo. I will show you everything soon. Just trust me, Ebuka reassured him. Despite Ebuka's attempt to make him feel at home, Uzochukwu couldn't shake off his doubt. He was grateful for the hospitality but remained cautious. He knew that the answers he sought would come in time, and until then, he would remain vigilant and prayerful, hoping that his decision to come to Asaba was indeed the right one. 2 weeks passed, and Ebuka finally decided it was time to introduce Uzochukwu to his business partners. Uzochukwu was both excited and anxious, eager to see the mysterious source of Ebuka's sudden wealth. The day began early, with Ebuka picking him up in his luxurious car. Today is the day, Uzo. You will finally see what I have been talking about, Ebuka said with a smile as they set off. I can't wait, Ebuka. I'm ready to meet your partners and understand the business. Uzochukwu replied, his excitement barely contained. They journeyed through the beautiful roads of Asaba and well-maintained streets. Uzochukwu admired the view, feeling a mix of hope and nervousness. However, as they drove further, the scenery began to change. The bustling city gave way to quieter, more rural areas. Ebuka, where exactly are we going? Uzochukwu asked, noticing the shifts in their surroundings. Don't worry, Uzo. We're almost there, trust me. Ebuka reassured him. They drove into a lonely village in Delta State. The roads were narrow and less traveled, and Uzochukwu's unease grew, but he trusted Ebuka and chose not to question him further. Soon, they arrived at a very lonely path, and Ebuka stopped the vehicle. We are here. Come on, Uzo, let's go. Ebuka said as he got out of the car. Uzochukwu hesitated, fear gripping his heart. Ebuka, where exactly are we? This place looks deserted. Relax, Uzo. We are almost at our destination. Just follow me. Ebuka said, his tone still calm and reassuring. They trekked down the lonely path, the silence of the surroundings amplifying Uzochukwu's apprehension. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a local house on the outskirts of the village. It was an old, dilapidated building surrounded by thick vegetation. Ebuka knocked on the door and it creaked open to reveal a giant woman with large breasts. Uzochukwu's heart pounded in his chest, fear evident in his eyes. Ebuka, what is this place? Who is she? Uzochukwu whispered, his voice trembling. Don't worry, Uzo. This is the mother of wealth. She's here to help you make money. Ebuka said, dragging him inside. The giant woman looked at Uzochukwu with piercing eyes. Welcome, she said in a deep, resonant voice. I am the mother of wealth. Ebuka told me that you seek my help to become rich. Uzochukwu's fear intensified, but he couldn't back out now. I I don't know if this is a good idea, Ebuka, he stammered. The woman beckoned him forward. Come closer, child. Drink from my breast, and you will have all the wealth you desire. She said, her voice commanding. No, I don't want to do this. I want to leave. Uzochukwu protested, stepping back. The woman's expression darkened. There is no going back. If you refuse, you will die. You must drink from my breast. Uzochukwu was paralyzed with fear. He looked at Ebuka, who gave him a reassuring nod. Do it, Uzo. It's the only way. With a heavy heart and tears in his eyes, Uzochukwu stepped forward. The woman introduced herself as the mother of wealth and ordered him to drink from one of her breasts. Drink from Arawa Asaba, and your wealth will come to you, she said. Trembling, Uzochukwu finally succumbed and drank from her breast. A deep sadness etched on his face. The act felt both humiliating and terrifying. When he finished, the woman gave him a stern warning. Your wealth is on the way. But remember, you must never give your money to anyone you love. If you do, you will face their consequences. Without another word, they left the house. Uzochukwu was silent, his mind reeling from what had just happened. The drive back to Asaba was filled with a heavy, uncomfortable silence. Ebuka tried to make small talk, but Uzochukwu was too overwhelmed to respond. That night, back at the mansion, Uzochukwu locked himself in his room. He felt a deep sense of regret and sadness about what he had done. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the floor, his mind racing with thoughts and fears. What have I done? How could I let myself be drawn into this? He muttered to himself, tears streaming down his face. He prayed fervently, seeking solace and forgiveness. God, please forgive me. I don't know what I have gotten myself into. Please guide me and protect my family. The night was long and restless. Uzochukwu's mind was a storm of emotions, battling between fear, regret, and a desperate hope that somehow things would turn out alright. He knew he had crossed a line, and there was no turning back now. All he could do was wait and hope that he could find a way to navigate this new treacherous path. The next morning, Uzochukwu woke up to an astonishing sight. Bags of hard currency piled up in his room. Startled and confused, he ran out to find Ebuka. Ebuka, come quickly. There is money everywhere. Uzochukwu shouted, his voice trembling. Ebuka walked in with a confident smile. Congratulations, Uzo. You have made it. This is the beginning of your new life. But how? Where did all this money come from? Uzochukwu asked, still in shock. Don't worry about that, Uzo. What matters is that you are wealthy now. We will gradually exchange the money and put it into your account. Everything is set up for you. Ebuka reassured him. Over the next few days, with Ebuka's help, Uzochukwu exchanged the money consciously, ensuring it was deposited safely into his bank account. The process was nerve-wracking, but Ebuka's confidence kept Uzochukwu calm. Soon, Uzochukwu found himself with a substantial amount of money. You are officially a wealthy man, Uzo. It's time to start living like one, Ebuka said, patting him on the back. Uzochukwu decided to invest in a big business, which to his amazement became very successful. He built a luxurious house and bought a sleek car. His lifestyle changed dramatically, filled with extravagance and opulence. However, amid all this newfound wealth, he began to distance himself from his family and Adama. Why did you change your phone number, Ozo? Ibuka asked one day. I just couldn't face them. I don't know how to explain all of this to them. Uzochukwu replied, his voice heavy with guilt. Weeks turned into months and Uzochukwu stopped calling his family. His parents and siblings tried to reach him but couldn't because he had changed his phone number. Adama too was left in the dark, her worry growing with each passing day. One evening, as Adama sat with Uzochukwu's mother Ebere, she couldn't hold back her tears. Mama, I'm so worried about Uzo. It's been months since we heard from him. What if something happened to him? Ebere sighed, her eyes filled with sadness. I don't know, Adama. He promised to come back, but now he's just vanished. We pray for him every day. Meanwhile, Uzochukwu lived his new life in Asaba with a heavy heart. Despite the luxury and the company of beautiful women, he felt an overwhelming sense of emptiness. He threw lavish parties and spent extravagantly, trying to fill the void left by his family's absence. One night, as he sat alone in his grand living room, surrounded by opulence, he felt a crushing wave of guilt. What have I done? I have abandoned the people who mean the most to me, he thought, tears welling up in his eyes. He remembered Adama's smile and his parents' loving faces. The guilt of leaving them behind gnawed at him, but the fear of facing them and the shame of explaining his sudden wealth kept him away. At another party, a friend noticed his distant expression. Uzo, what's wrong? You have everything now. Why the long face? Uzochukwu forced a smile, nothing, just tired. It's been a long day. But deep down, he knew the truth. He was lonely, and no amount of money or material wealth could replace the love and support of his family. Every night, he lay in bed, haunted by the decision he had made and the people he had left behind. One evening, Ebuka tried to talk to him. Uzo, you have got everything. Why don't you seem happy? Uzochukwu looked away, unable to meet Ebuka's gaze. I don't know, Ebuka. Maybe because I left my family behind. I haven't spoken to them in months. They must think I have forgotten about them. You made a choice to change your life. It's not easy, but you did it for a reason, Ebuka replied, trying to console him. I know, but it doesn't feel right. I'm living this life, but it's like a prison. I miss my family, and I can't go back. Uzochukwu said, his voice trembling. Days turned into weeks, and the burden of guilt grew heavier. Uzochukwu continued to live in luxury, surrounded by people who cared about his money than him. His heart ached with loneliness, and he knew he had to make a choice. Continue living a life of emptiness, or find a way to reconnect with his roots. One day, as he stared at the reflection of his lavish lifestyle, he whispered to himself, I need to fix this. I need to find a way to make things right. Uzochukwu realized that true wealth wasn't just about money. It was about the love and support of his family, the warmth of genuine relationships, and the peace that came from living a life of integrity. He knew that the road ahead would be tough, but he was determined to find his way back to the people who mattered the most. The next few weeks were a torment for Uzochukwu. Sleepless nights and constant guilt gnawed at him, and he couldn't escape the thoughts of his family. Finally, he decided it was time to see his loved ones in Aba. Early one morning, he packed a few things, got into one of his cars, and set off. As he pulled up in front of his family's house, the familiar sight and sounds of Aba flooded back, bringing a mix of regret. His parents and siblings, seeing the car, rushed out to greet him. Uzo, you are back, his mother Ebere exclaimed, tears of joy streaming down her face. Her father Ekene hugged him tightly. We have missed you so much, son. I have missed you all too, Uzochukwu replied, his voice choked with emotion. His younger siblings, Obina, Chemeka, and Adeze, surrounded him, chattering excitedly and hugging him. The reunion was heartfelt, and Uzochukwu felt a flicker of the warmth he had been missing. Word of Uzochukwu's return spread quickly. Adamma, hearing the news, left her shop immediately to see for herself. When she arrived, she saw Uzochukwu standing with his family and ran to him. Uzo, I can't believe you are here, Adamma cried, throwing her arms around him. I'm so sorry for not reaching out sooner, Adamma, Uzochukwu said, holding her tightly. I have missed you so much. After some time, Uzochukwu gathered everyone together. I know I have been gone for a long time, and I have hurt you all by not staying in touch. I'm truly sorry. I have brought this money to help make things right. He handed a bundle of money to his parents. Papa, Mama, use this for anything you need. Turning to Adama, he gave her another bundle. Adama, this is for you to expand your business. You deserve it. As he distributed the money, a sudden sharp pain shot through his head. Uzochukwu screamed in agony, clutching his head. Ah, no, no, he shouted, falling to the ground. His family rushed to his side, panicked and confused. Uzo, what's happening? Ebere cried out. Uzochukwu began to speak gibberish, his eyes wild with fear. Aranwanya Asaba, Aranwanya Asaba, he kept repeating. Adama knelt beside him, tears streaming down her face. Uzo, talk to me. What's going on? Neighbors gathered, offering help. Together, they managed to hold Uzochukwu down and rushed him to a local church. The pastor, seeing the commotion, quickly gathered the prayer warriors. Pray, everyone. This is a spiritual battle, the pastor declared. They prayed fervently, their voices rising in unison. Lord, deliver Uzochukwu from this evil. Heal him and bring him peace, they chanted. After what felt like hours, Uzochukwu calmed down and fell into a deep sleep. The pastor, wiping sweat from his brow, turned to the family. Wait until he wakes up. He has so much to tell us. Later, Uzochukwu woke up with tears in his eyes. Mama, Papa, Adama, everyone, I need to tell you what happened. He began, his voice shaky. Through tears, he confessed everything, his trip to Asaba, the meeting with the mother of wealth, and the dire consequences of drinking from her breast. I'm so sorry. I did it because I wanted to help you all, but I made a terrible mistake. His family listened in shock but with compassion. Ebere hugged him tightly. We forgive you, Uzo. You are our son and we love you. Yes, son, we are here for you. We'll get through this together, Ekene added, placing a hand on Uzochukwu's shoulder. Adamma, her eyes filled with tears, held his hand. I forgive you, Uzo. We will find a way to move forward. The next few days were difficult. Uzochukwu stayed in Aba, avoiding any contact with Ebuka. One afternoon, his phone rang. It was Ebuka. Reluctantly, Uzochukwu answered. Uzo, there has been a fire. Your house and businesses are all gone, Ebuka said, panic in his voice. Ebuka, I don't want to hear from you again. This is over. Don't call me anymore, Uzochukwu replied before hanging up. He felt a strange sense of relief after ending the call. The wealth and the businesses were gone, but he still had his family. They were his true wealth. In the days that followed, Uzochukwu focused on rebuilding his life in Aba. The road ahead was uncertain and challenging, but he knew he had the support of his family and Adamma. They were determined to move forward together, with love, faith, and the hope of a better days ahead. With the unwavering support of his family and Adama, Uzochukwu decided it was time to start over. The path ahead was challenging, but he was determined to rebuild his life from the ground up. Adama was by his side every step of the way, providing the encouragement and love he needed to keep moving. Uzo, we can do this together, Adama said one evening as they sat discussing their future. We just need to find something we are passionate about. I have always admired the craftsmanship of shoemaking. Uzochukwu replied thoughtful. Maybe I could learn that skill and start making shoes. Adama smiled, her eyes shining with determination. And I can continue my sewing. We can combine our talents and create something beautiful. With a plan in place, Uzochukwu began apprenticing with a local shoemaker in Aba. The work was demanding, but he poured his heart and soul into learning the craft. Day by day, his skills improved. Adama supported him through every step, bringing him lunch at the workshop and encouraging him when he felt discouraged. After 6 months of hard work and dedication, Uzochukwu became proficient in shoemaking. He started making shoes for people in the community, and word quickly spread about the quality and craftsmanship of his work. One evening, Adama approached him with an idea. Uzo, we should open our own shop. I can sew clothes and you can make shoes. Together, we can create a brand that people will love. Uzochukwu nodded, feeling a surge of excitement. That's a great idea, Adama. Let's do it. They pooled their resources and opened a small shop in Aba. The sign above the door proudly displayed their names, Uzo and Adama Creations. The shop quickly gained popularity, with customers lining up to buy Adama's beautifully sewn clothes and Uzochukwu's expertly crafted shoes. Their businesses grew rapidly. They received contracts and deals, expanding their reach beyond Aba. They worked tirelessly, often late into the night, but their hard work paid off. Within a few years, they opened branches in neighboring cities and even started customizing shoes and clothing for their clients. One sunny afternoon, as they stood outside their shop, Adama turned to Uzochukwu. We have come so far, Uzo. I'm so proud of us. Uzochukwu smiled, wrapping his arm around her. I couldn't have done it without you, Adama. You have been my rock. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and eventually Uzochukwu proposed. They had a beautiful wedding, surrounded by family and friends, celebrating not only their love, but also their journey from hardship to success. Years later, Uzochukwu and Adama's business continued to thrive. They opened more branches and expanded their product line. They built a beautiful house for Uzochukwu's family and another one for themselves. Their siblings continued their education, and the entire family standard of living improved significantly. One evening, as Uzochukwu and Adama sat on the porch of their new home, they reflected on their journey. We have been through so much, Adama, but look at us now. We have built a beautiful life together. Uzochukwu said, his voice filled with gratitude. Yes, we have, and it's all because we never gave up on each other. Adama replied, smiling. Uzochukwu nodded, holding her hand. I'm so grateful for your love and support. I wouldn't have been here without you. Adama leaned her head on his shoulder, and I'm grateful for your strength and determination. We make a great team, Uzo. Their story became an inspiration to many in their community. Uzochukwu and Adama often spoke at local events, sharing their journey and encouraging others to pursue their dreams with passion and perseverance. One day, while addressing a group of young entrepreneurs, Uzochukwu said, success doesn't come easy. It requires hard work, dedication, and the support of loved ones. Never give up, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. If you believe in yourself and stay true to your values, you can achieve anything. Adama added, and remember, true wealth isn't just about money. It's about the love and support of family and friends. Cherish those relationships and you will find fulfillment beyond material success. Their words resonated deeply with the audience, inspiring many to follow their dreams. Uzochukwu and Adama had not only built a successful business, but also created a legacy of hope and perseverance. As the years passed, they continued to grow their business, giving back to their community and helping others achieve their goals. They built schools and sponsored educational programs, ensuring that future generations had the opportunities they needed to succeed. One evening, as they watched the sun set from their porch, Uzochukwu turned to Adama. We have come a long way, haven't we? Yes, we have, Adama replied, smiling, and I wouldn't trade this journey for anything. Uzochukwu kissed her forehead. Neither would I. Here is to many more years of love, success, and happiness. Together, they faced the future with confidence, knowing that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they had each other. Their story was a testament to the power of love, determination, and the unwavering belief that with hard work and perseverance, anything is possible. And so, Uzochukwu and Adama lived their lives, surrounded by family, friends, and the community they had built, always grateful for the journey that brought them to where they were. This story reminds us that the path to prosperity is often long and challenging, but staying true to our values and relying on the support of our loved ones can lead to lasting fulfillment. Quick fixes and shortcuts may bring temporary gains, but it is the consistent effort and honest work that build a solid foundation for a prosperous and meaningful life. Thank you for watching this amazing story on African Stories. If you liked it and felt inspired with their journey, please show your support by clicking the like button, sharing with your friends, and leaving a comment below. To see more interesting stories and learn about different cultures, subscribe to African Stories and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss a new story. Your support means a lot and helps us bring more stories to you. Until we meet again, stay connected, stay inspired, and keep smiling.